Hello everybody, dear friends, astrology lovers, clients, my English speaking followers. Greetings from sunny Costa Rica. Here is Olga one more time with you with astrological analysis of the planetary transits for the week of October 16th to October 22nd. We will talk today about the most important astrological event of the month and of the week, of course, which is the new moon, Uranian new moon in Libra, that will will occur on Thursday, October 19th. The Uranian new moon in Libra will bring revolutionary revival, transformation, our relationships. I will talk about it in a moment in details, but I would like to start the analysis of the week with a very good news, with a very constructive and harmonious aspect, Sextile Sun Saturn, that will be accurate exact on Monday, October 16th. You all remember that the last 3 days of the old lunar month that is coming to an end now, 3 days before the new moon. This is not the time to start new projects, but nevertheless, this very constructive aspect, Sextile Sun Saturn, will allow us to progress in some affairs, some cases. If we need to finalize something, if we need to bring something to the end that we were working on during the entire lunar month for the past 4 weeks, this is the perfect moment to achieve constructive and positive results. If we want to progress in the finalization of our old cases, we should demonstrate during this transit personal initiative, and we must have creative approach, which is the symbolism of the sun, but without violating the rules and limitations, which is the symbolism of Saturn. We all know that. The circumstances of these days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, can remind us of commitments that were made by us recently, of the respect for terms and deadlines. So it's also necessary to be patient and to respect subordination in our professional relationships especially. And in this case, we'll succeed in resolving the issues that are important to us, that need to be resolved, to finalized, to finished, right, before the new moon. We could have success in establishing contacts with the superiors, influential people, and mentors. It's a good time to address the official bodies also. But once again, I repeat myself, here we talk about old cases that need to be finished before the new moon. We don't start anything new before the new moon. Well, the most important astrological event of the week is the Uranian new moon in Libra on the 19th of October, Thursday at 3:12 p.m. New York time, in the 26th degree of Libra. As always, any new moon is the turning point of the lunar month, because it's the end and the beginning of is the end of the old microcycle and the beginning of a new microcycle. So on one hand, the new moon draws a line abruptly and unexpectedly because of the opposition to Uranus. It draws the line under certain events and processes. And on the other hand, at the same time, the second symbolism of the new moon, the role of the new moon is that it launches new trends and scenarios in certain spheres of our lives, in the spheres of our lives that correspond to the house where the new moon is projected in your personal horoscope. Okay? So what is the particularity of the symbolism? The particularity of this new moon, the upcoming new moon, since we have to mention that it forms the opposition with Uranus and in Aries, and the conjunction with Jupiter in Scorpio. So the first aspect, let's see the first aspect. The exact aspect of the position of the new moon, so conjunction Moon-Sun to Uranus, means that the new trends that we will see appearing in our lives this week, the upcoming week, will be reflected in the following, we'll find the manifestation in the following concrete changes for us. First of all, in our relationships with people and society, the symbolism of Libra, the sign where the new moon occurs, we will see sudden and unexpected turns. This is the symbolism of Uranus. Also, if we want to reprogram unwanted, undesirable scenarios in partnerships and relationships, we will have the opportunity for such transformation if we accept these radical changes. Yes, if we open ourselves to a small revolution. New opportunities for cooperation on the basis of advanced and forward-looking ideas will open up to us also, which is the symbolism once again of the Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius symbolizes forward-looking ideas, advanced ideas. And also, maybe the last point that I would like to underline is that new contacts and acquaintances will enter our lives through or thanks to unusual and paradoxical situations and circumstances. A lot of surprises during the new moon. Well, those who are familiar with astrological notions, you know, the basic notions and parameters that we use in any analysis. All of us, we know that the influence of Uranus is always associated with the emergence of new perspectives. If everything related to public activity, to relations with society and the world. But at the same time, it obliges us to get rid of old models, to reconsider our plans, to review our behavioral strategies, to adopt innovative approaches and new ideas, right? New public and social projects launched at the time of the new moon will be successful, and we will be able to happily improve the existing ones, existing projects, under the condition that these projects, the new ones and the old ones, are associated with a truly forward-looking and revolutionary ideas. We can hope for better life only if we accept something unusual and forward-looking and even shocking, non-conventional. The impact of Uranus on our personal and professional relationships, you know, on the smaller scale, can be more difficult because we will have to associate the idea of a partnership, the parameters of a partnership, which are compromise, respect for the needs and the desires of the partner, with the idea of independence, freedom, and progress. Partnership because the new moon is in Libra, and independence, freedom, and progress, Uranus, which is in opposition to the new moon in Libra. Opposition Sun of the conjunction Sun Moon to Uranus carries within this aspect, you know, the energy of rebellion and radicalism. So this can create conflicts that may lead to confrontations, even violent confrontations. So be careful not to provoke, you know, conflicts and confrontations that can actually occur during the new moon. In any case, if in our social projects and personal relationships, in the both, there is no place neither for renewal nor for radical restructuring, if the time came for this, you know, for the renewal and the restructure, these projects simply collapse in a brutal and irreversible way, because it will be subject to the destabilizing influence of external factors. In more favorable variants, more favorable scenarios, changes in the context of the new moon will occur through regeneration, destruction of past barriers, through the reform, and which will provide interesting new opportunities for cooperation. So whether we give up to the old, worn-out ties and objects, and we open ourselves to the new, if we resist, we will lose in any case, because the situation will make us, the new moon will help us, will make us get rid of the things and objects and ties and relationships that we don't need anymore, and we for some reason resist to this change. So why not to open to this change consciously? with our free will, using our free will. The new moon also forms the conjunction with Jupiter, because the Sun will be in conjunction with Jupiter on the 26th of October, 1 week after the new moon. But since we talk here about the conjunction of slow planets, the conjunction of Sun Moon during the new moon, which is the new moon, is already in the orb of the conjunction with Jupiter, even 1 week before the exact aspect. Okay, so this conjunction of the new moon with Jupiter will be the will conjunct with tie the last degree of the sign of Libra, where the Sun and the Moon will be during the new moon, with the first degrees of the sign of Scorpio, where the Jupiter is already for a couple of days. Remember, the last week it entered Scorpio. All this means that if we fulfill our social and personal ties with a deep meaning, deep sense, new horizons will open to us in these areas. It may be, for example, more promising opportunities for development. Once again, in the society, if you're talking about our social role, the role that we play for this or that society. And it can be also, for example, chances for richer mutual exchanges of resources. It's a very promising, construct very promising aspect, the conjunction with Jupiter. So it doesn't cancel the position with Uranus, of course. It doesn't cancel the effect of the position with Uranus, but it balances, not a little bit, a lot, the general picture of the new moon. All right. Yes. So from Monday to Thursday, during the last days of the lunar month, the month of this coming to an end, many situations of the past that are still part of our reality will be coming to an end. Yes, they will live their final phase, which is logical. We will finish old cases, take advantage of the results of our work that we made during the entire lunar month, right? The moment of achievement from Monday to Wednesday. Of conclusions, of drawing conclusions. During these days, until October 20th, until the first lunar day, any decision regarding new ideas and projects will be premature, and the risk that we will spend energy and efforts on illusory and non-existing things will be high due to the square Mars-Lilith, the black moon Lilith, and square Mars-Lilith will be exact on the day of the new moon on the 19th of October. So it confirms this transit is the additional indication that we have to stay passive and silent and don't start anything new before the Friday, October 20th. Otherwise, our decisions, our beginnings, our ideas will not receive development and evolution in the future. We'll make mistakes in the choice of the direction, okay, that we want to take during the next lunar month. As always, during the last days before the new moon, and here we talk about Wednesday and Thursday on the 18th and the 19th, it is better to devote time to finalize, to finalize things, to make reports and conclusions, to get rid of all that is useless, what has become the ballast, whether on the external level in the form of unnecessary objects, relationships, ties, and commitments, and on the internal level. It can be contradictions, emotional contradictions, pretensions, grudges. These days, Wednesday, Thursday, are the days of Hecate, the darkest day of the lunar months, when energy is at zero, and these days require from us to pay attention to physical activity in order to avoid injuries, accidents, critical situations for our health, all kinds of losses. We must reduce the level of external activity, physical activity, and we just need to relax and to take some rest so that we will be able to start a new lunar month after the necessary update. Avoid extreme physical activity, otherwise the consequence of injury will be difficult to repair if we harm ourselves, if we hurt ourselves. At the same time, the last 2 days before the new moon will give us an excellent opportunity to solve problems and contradictions of the past, to achieve maximum result in the realization of past ideas, thanks to the conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter in Scorpio on the 18th of October, just before the new moon. Mercury actually enters the sign of Scorpio on October 17th, which will help us in during the transit of the planet by this sign. In the deep intellectual inquiry, the transit will help us to understand the essence of various ideas and concepts. And this, the conjunction of Jupiter of Mercury with Jupiter will help us to understand what should be done and what should not be done the last day of the new moon. What more words about the transit of Mercury by Scorpio, where it will stay until the 5th of November. Well, how this transit will characterize our behavior in communication with other people? Well, of course, we will show a lot of suspicion, mistrust, desire at all costs to get to the bottom of the truth, to the bottom of all that is hidden in secret. This is the characteristic of the Mercury and Scorpio, whether we talk about transit, whether we talk about the position of Mercury in your birth chart. The first theme of this transit is dark thoughts about the fragility of existence and of the fragility of the human life. We will think about the meaning of existence until the 5th of November. The second important subject of this transit is sex, the thoughts about which these days occur more often than usually, more often than during the transit of Mercury by another sign. The third subject is secret knowledge, esotericism, occult sciences, mysticism, witchcraft, magics. One way or another, many of us will be in touch with unusual phenomena, maybe with people who possess this occult and esoteric knowledge. We will be interested by these subjects, we will be attracted by them, by study of these subjects. Another area that is affected by the transit of Mercury by Scorpio is financial sphere. Of course, during this transit, stock markets will be more active and bank will organize advertising campaigns offering loans and credits. But if you talk about relationships, they can undergo all situations of a test when, actually, because people will become more critical, too critical, even sarcastic, they will not control too much their words. So at this point, we can show extremes in decisions and actions. So we have to be careful, think before to say mean things. And look, we passed the new moon right on Thursday, October 19th, and starting from Friday, October 20th, new trends will see the development. The plans put in place at the time of the new moon will begin to be realized. They will change irreversibly our reality, thanks to, once again, I remind you, thanks to the opposition of the new moon to Uranus. And we will be able to use all the opportunities of the first days of the lunar month for new initiatives and for the realization of our new ideas. And there is one more ingression of the week that will help us in finding harmony, balance, and peace in our exchanges with the other people and with the world. And this is the ingression of Mars in the sign of Libra. Mars will leave the sign of Virgo and will enter the sign of Libra on the 22nd of October, on Sunday, where it will remain until the 9th of December. Mars, the planet of personal initiative, of energy and action, during the transit of Mars by the sign of Libra, our activity is mostly manifested by the objective analysis of the situation, by the search for options, by the search for equitable resolution of conflicts. The sign of Libra forces us to look for supporters, for people who share the same values with us, to get engaged actively in contacts, to spend a lot of efforts in building relationships with partners. I can even say that we are extremely dependent on the environment and on our partners, right? So we will be able to understand, we will be aware that the excessive straightness is inappropriate. And in case people who have Mars and Libra in their birth chart are diplomats, right? They don't like sudden movements, sharp movements. They take their time to evaluate pros and cons, before to make the final decision, before to act. And those who have Mars, for example, in a fire sign in their chart, people who are basically impulsive and impatient, thanks to the transit, will be able, to find the necessary balance between their personal interest and the needs of the society and the needs of others. They will be able to identify common bases for further cooperation and to reduce the level of conflicts. So this is a very soft transit. This position is very soft, Mars in Libra, and it will allow us the beginning, this ingression, the day of the ingression on Sunday, since it will occur on the third day of the lunar month, of the new lunar month, will allow us to achieve very interesting, first results, but very interesting and satisfying results in our new plan that we will draw during the new moon in the middle of the week. So I wish you, to all of you, happy new moon. Stay wise, take care of yourselves, and accept a small revolution to your life. Don't be afraid to close the door, because only in this case a new door can be opened to us, So good luck to everybody, and I talk to you very soon the next week. Goodbye.